Hey everybody, welcome back to an episode of The Why presented by All American Heart Pros and All American Heart Studios. I'm your host, Dylan Mullins. Today, sitting down with someone who is a face to not only the friends in our community, but also the furry friends in our community. Excited to hear her story, what she's got to say. That's Miss Tiffany Meyer. Tiffany.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. It's going to be a great day.
Well, I ask everybody at the beginning, just kind of give me your elevator pitch. I'm sure as a real estate agent, you're probably really good at this. Getting off the street, how would you introduce yourself to me?
I'm Tiffany Meyer. I'm a real estate broker with Howard Hanna out of Ashland, Ohio, is where my office is actually located. But my side hustle is I do a lot of work for the Ashland County Humane Society. My kind of what fills my cup is rescuing and saving animals. And so I guess it's the whole play on I want to find homes for everybody, big and small, right? So, yeah.
Why the, let's jump right into it because you already dropped it. Why the infatuation with animals? What made animals?
I'm a farm kid at heart, born and raised on a farm. I have my national FFA degree. I mean, that's pretty something to be kind of honored about, right? Grew up raising cattle, had sheep when we were little, but we had a large Angus herd. My family still has a large Angus herd. I showed horses competitively all through, my dad got me my first pony when I was 6, started showing when I was 9. And when my dad passed away in 2002, I kind of quit the showing world because, you had to grow up and go sell real estate and make money. But so I've always just had a love for animals. And I think I got really frustrated with some of the crazy side of the animal world that you need to save everything and everybody has to be protected. And these farmers were getting phone calls when really their Holstein herd or their cattle herd are just fine, but Holstein cattle look thin. And so that's how I kind of got involved with it. And I've been doing it for over 30 years now, doing the day-to-day operations along with several of our board members in Ashland, saving animals. And I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, a couple things in there. Both the ag thing. Proud Hillsdale graduate from their ag program over there. Best in the state, at least.
Absolutely. Me too. Yep.
But obviously, Humane Society, not talking about HSUS, which is a big one that you kind of discriminate for.
Yes.
Because HSUS and PETA, also those people, communities are two entirely different things. Your local Humane Society is entirely different.
That's correct.
So you have to be careful on.
Yes. And I think that the frustrating part from our standpoint, so we had a 14-horse case actually in Ashland County a number of years ago, and the Humane Society of the United States actually stepped in and helped us, and they were fantastic. But they only really step in when they're big cases like that. Yes, and it sounds good, and it's a good marketing piece, and they get a good bite off of it, and then they can raise more money off of it. So, and not that I'm giving them any ill, I'm proud of what they do, I'm thankful for what they do, but when you actually look at what the locals do, those are the ones that you really need to protect. And if you can, and it doesn't even have to be money, it's time. Quite frankly, just donate your time, help us move dogs or cats around, help us take an animal to the vet, help us take a dog, transport it to the Mansfield prison program. Those are things that are huge for us because I don't always have the time to go pick up a dog at the Career Center on State Route 60 and transport it to Mancy or to transport it to a vet. Same with our cats. And sometimes it's horses. I need to get a horse to Ohio State, but I've got to go show houses. So now I got to get somebody in my horse community to transport a horse to Ohio State for me because I just don't have the time. So it's not always money. Sometimes it's just time and energy and giving back to those organizations. But the local organizations are way more. The money you give to the local organizations really goes to helping the animals. The dollar goes further. We in Ashland County, we don't have any salaries. We do not pay any employees. Everything is volunteer. So the dollars you donate to me are going to animal care. So whether that's vet care or transportation care or feed care or whatever, it's going to taking care of those animals. So,
well, that's true with a lot of Humane Society.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we're big on give back here. Honestly, probably too much. As you look at it from an accountant standpoint, but I can always make more money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good relationship.
Yep.
It's weird for me as a business owner. But we do the same thing though. Right. So when we're looking at an organization that we're going to donate to, I go, all right, where do the dollars actually go?
Yes.
And a lot of times with the national organizations, your dollars tend to take longer to get there or never get there.
That's good.
The salary.
Yes.
Or, what's the big one that everybody always talks about? Is it is it, I don't want to say United Way, but that's one I think that everybody always talks about.
Yes. Yes.
90% goes to something than the 10%.
Yes.
It only goes
Yes.
direction.
Yes. Correct.
It's just an back.
And it's super frustrating from that standpoint. Like, because the dollars just aren't getting where they need to go. So be very cautious as you donate, as you estate plan, as you look at where your dollars are going to go. Please choose the small local organizations, whether that is for child care, whether that is for what churches. Quite frankly, food is another one that's fascinating to me. Like, people donate to these big food banks, and you can walk into the food banks and the shelves are full. What is the purpose in having a food bank full of food? I want the food in somebody's kitchen, not sitting on the wall. It drives me crazy. So I much prefer these organizations that I actually get to see the good that they touch. And I will tell you, it's funny, you talk about the purpose of your life. Like, why do I feel that I was put? What is my purpose? My purpose is honestly impact. I want to know that I am impacting and touching other people's lives. And whether that is simply the fact that I have helped that cat find the right family, or it is the fact that I have put two business owners together to put together an amazing business transaction to grow their future, it's about impact. I've touched your life, I've touched their lives, and that's what it's about.
You and I line up in the exact same way there. Like, I tell people all the time a lot of times when I'm interviewing folks, they're like, all right, so why should I come work for you? I'm like, I'm just here to make your life better. If that means making you more money, like, I don't think it ever really is at the end of the day, in my opinion. Because if, it's the lottery syndrome as well.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah.
People that win the lottery, what is it? Statistically, after 5 years, they're completely broke or worse.
Yes. Yep.
Because if you look at people with mass amounts of wealth, they typically are not big spenders. They're not flashy.
No.
And you've probably done this. I've met plenty of folks over your time.
Sure.
Who are paying cash for a multi-million-dollar house, and they look like,
yep,
Farmer Bob, right?
My dad's favorite line was, never underestimate the junk man.
Yeah.
Never underestimate him. And he's right. And I work for the junk man every day, and I am totally okay with it.
Yes.
And yes, I dress like this, and they walk in, they appreciate the fact that I do wear a suit every day. This helps negotiations. I will tell you that when you look like you know what you're talking about, I think that helps dramatically. But I work for those guys every day, and I fight fights for them. And you're right, never underestimate the scrap guy.
Absolutely. And look at what's the big one around here? Rumpke?
Yeah.
Who buying up all the freaking places?
Yep.
Like, you never knew there was that much money in trash. Quite frankly, most folks probably think, oh, the busted up reef or the trash guy or this, that, or the other. But honestly, and especially today, the way the world's going today, your blue collar guys are going to be way up.
Yes, absolutely.
Regular to equal.
Yes.
I go in and talk to schools all the time. Actually, I think one locally will never ask me to come back because I was sat on their morning announcements and said, I'm the only person that's going to tell you this, but if your heart tells you not to go to college, just go explore something. Go through your life before you're 30.
Absolutely.
Figure it out, and then, figure out what you don't want to do as fast as possible. That should be your goal.
Yes. Yes.
Not, me go to college so that way I can amass amount of debt.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you've got to find your path, and you got to find your passion. People always say, why didn't you go to, it's funny, we were talking about your wife a minute ago about being in the horse trainer world. And I love horses. I'm obviously super passionate about it. I love to ride, but I never wanted my hobby to become my job. So therefore I chose to go the real estate, the family business realm, so that my hobby always became and stayed my hobby. And to this day, horses are still my peace. Like, I literally went, and I have a horse with an abscessed foot right now. I drove down and took care of her and soaked her foot last night. But there's a piece about that. So you have to find that in order to find that in your career and help you transition into that. And I think where you and I have an incredible skill set is we see people in a manner that they don't see themselves, and it allows us to help them find their path. Again, reverting back to that impact. Like, if I touched one person's life today, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. So
that's what I talk about all the time with this podcast, is people will be like, oh, what if it doesn't get very many views? I'm like, it's not
about that. Nope.
That's a vanity number.
Absolutely.
That's a vanity number, is for me to go, oh, this got 1,000 views or whatever.
There's a difference in popularity versus purpose.
Absolutely.
And I have a purpose. It's not about popularity. I don't need you to like me.
No, hell. I have more than enough, brain. My wife likes me. My kid likes me most days. My kid always likes me. My wife likes me most days. But either way, I don't care. Like, I don't give a rat's ass.
Correct.
It's like I'll get up on my soapbox sometimes in the podcast talking about my faith, and people are like,
Absolutely.
"You all put him like I don't."
That doesn't matter.
I don't.
So I will tell you, and as I travel the country and I teach leadership training, I talk about the 80-20 rule. And the 80-20 rule is if I can make 80% of you happy, the other 20% don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Because here's the reality. You're always going to be miserable. You're always going to be upset. You're going to be mad about something I say, mad about what I'm wearing, the fact that I have a broken fingernail right now. I mean, you're going to be upset or offended by something that I do or say, and I don't care. The goal is if I can affect 80% of you and make sure that I'm making a difference in your lives and headed in the right direction, I'm okay with that. And quite frankly, one of my other dad's favorite lines was, if you're not pissing somebody off, you're not doing your job.
Yeah.
And he's right. And I piss people off every day.
I have to be people upset. Exactly. Like, yeah, please ever.
No,
You won't.
no, never.
My biggest luxury here is being able to fire a customer.
Yeah.
I had that luxury.
Oh, it's amazing.
It's the best feeling in the world. And when you're first starting, you're like, I can't turn that.
Yeah.
That.
No.
Now I'm like, you know what, dude? Hey, it's not gonna work together. It's fine.
I will tell you that some of the best deals I do are the deals I don't do.
Exactly.
Because you're going to end up in court. You're going to end up sued. You're going to end up like, yes. There's a vibe there that you don't like or you don't read and you walk away from the deal. And I think that's going down that path. Like, I think there's a sadness that, I know you're very religious and I think sometimes we don't listen to God or spirit or whatever your belief is in the fact that they whisper in your ear and tell you, your gut tells you not to do something. They tell you it's a bad deal or they tell you to go in a wrong direction. And in the same token, they also tell you you should stop at that house because maybe they're going through a divorce and they need somebody like you or I in their life to help them. And I think we are taught in our high school and through our career to not listen to that instinct. And I will tell you, don't. You should always listen to that instinct. I'm here to tell you, I live on my vibe. I literally just advised a client this morning to walk away from a deal. He said, he's like, I just don't have a great feeling about it, Tiffany. Like, we should do it. But I'm like, no, if you don't have a good feeling about it, don't do it. It's a bad deal. So, and I know that sounds so counterintuitive, but the reality is we live off of knowing that intuition. So listen to him speaking in your ear. Listen to him talk to you. So journal your way through it. If I will tell you anything through the last 2 years of my life, it is learning how to listen to that again that I should have listened to a long time ago.
Yeah, it's that gut instinct. It's that feeling in your gut that you just can't explain.
Absolutely.
I spent some mission time in Africa. My favorite story about the Holy Spirit is, I had a friend who was really not a believer. We were praying over kids one evening. And he had his hand on me and another shoulder. And he goes, man, I just felt this electricity come over. Yeah. Doing an altar call. And he said the first guy he grabbed was a recovering alcoholic or wants somebody that's wanting to recover from alcohol.
Yeah.
It's just amazing how that can work. And if we just listen to what God's putting on our heart.
Absolutely.
You're like you said, whatever that is.
Yes.
Because and sometimes they're not the greatest interactions. We got a couple of little girls that run around with us. And after church, we'll try to stop. I'm not a big money guy. You're on the side of the road. Panhandling.
Absolutely.
No. I'll gladly bring you food and water.
Yes.
Nourish.
Yes.
And ask to pray over you. And we stopped. We've done it twice that I can recall off the top of my head with these little girls that hang out with us. And one time, a guy basically gave us a middle finger, and I was like, "Hey, you know what? It's okay. You just showed up true colors.
Yep.
We were trying to do the right thing.
Yep.
He didn't want it. And the other guy gladly accepted it, allow us to pray over him. But and you'll hear that in your head. I don't know if you get that as you're driving down the
road. Oh yeah.
Turn back.
Absolutely.
For real?
Yep.
Like I got things to do.
Yep.
There's a couple times that I've stopped.
Yep.
They just allow you to pray over them really fast. And did it change anything? No. I don't know if it did.
You don't know.
It's on my plate.
That is not. No, it's not.
But all I did was try to.
That's right.
The pluses and minuses when we talk about
it's the karma.
Yes.
It's the karma. Your karma. That is correct. Your heart was in the right place. Your soul touched them. And maybe it touched them. Maybe it didn't. The matter is you tried and you opened the door for them. And that's what it's about. Sometimes you don't have to shove them through. You just got to open the door for them. And
and that's what I talk about with my faith all the time is I'm like, look, I want you to look at me and go, what's he doing different? Not me. He's scream at you and say, this is what you do if you know you're going to hell.
Yeah.
As we're reporting this, Ozzy died last.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, you did get into heaven. It's like, it's not your place.
No.
See, that's the textbook of why people have a disdain towards Christianity. That's not your place.
Yes.
And I had a friend who's a deacon at our church tell me, he goes, I'll take 111th hours over the guy who was saved at 6 a.m.
Yes.
I want the person who and it just makes you feel better more.
Yes.
Want them all.
Yes.
But there's just something about that 11th hour that's just amazing.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
It's just an enlightening.
And, I don't know, obviously I was there when my dad, I transitioned, went over the rainbow, as we refer to it in the animal world. But, and, it is a very spiritual moment. And it is so sad when they have that awakening and you get to talk to them that one last time before they make the transition. But you are correct. God is here. Spirit is here. Buddha is here. Whatever your belief is, I'm not gonna cram this down into one little fine line. But again, revert to that, listen to that, hear it, because it's here. And I will tell you, God puts me in places that I don't understand some days. I don't understand. When I go on some of these Humane Society calls, I don't understand. But for some reason, there's always a purpose out of it. There's always a reason. Whether it is, we just had this happen. I had a lady fall and she broke a hip, and she is going to be in a nursing home now, and she had 2 dogs and a couple cats. And the family called me. They're not local. Nobody was local. They were in the Carolinas and Texas. And they said, what do we do with these animals? I went down. I picked up all the animals, got them in respective foster homes. And as I'm talking to the family, they were like, we don't know what to do. And I said, well, I'm a realtor, actually, by trade, and I'll be glad to help you. And obviously, I was meant to take that phone call from dispatch that day and talk to her, because it could have gone to Amanda, it could have gone to Rhonda, it could have gone to one of our other volunteers, but it came to me. And it came to me for a reason. And the reason was to help them through that. And I have so many stories that are in that realm. I had a gentleman, he was actually hit in a car accident and died, and his family called me, again, not local. Dispatch called me and said, Tiffany, come to find out, he was an attorney, and the family needed to know what to do with the animals. And while I'm on the call with her, she's obviously distraught. And she's like, I don't know what to do with his clients. I don't know how to inform them. And so I picked up the phone. I called one of my local attorneys that I have a very good relationship with and said, what do I do? He picked up the phone, called her. He took care of all of that for her. And again, did I have to get that call from dispatch? No, but it was meant for me for a reason. I saved the animals. I helped her get taken care of the clients that her brother worked with. And then we listed and sold the house. So there's a reason. There's a purpose for it.
Product for it.
It is. It is. Yes.
You talk about impact. When we're talking about, and we're deep 20 minutes into this thing, trending, which is great. I love it. I do. But you talk about impact, and there's no one that is laying on their deathbed today, because there's
no
hundreds of thousands of people who are on that last leg of life, whatever that looks.
Yep. Yep.
So we're recording this as this drops, as watching it. That's just the way life goes.
Yes.
And we all have this time, this clock that's ticking, and we have no idea how much is left, all that good stuff.
Yes.
But there's not a single person that got to that last stage in life and went, man, I'm so happy I made all.
Yes.
I'm so happy I have all these things. They all come back to, man, I'm really glad that I'm passing it. We talk about generational wealth all the time. Generational wealth is not a monetary thing.
No.
Money is a weird construct, and right? And it's just this thing. Now, granted, it allows me to buy everything we're sitting around.
Yes.
Use it for transactional purposes, but really you're trading your time, your resources, your energy, your folks' resources, if you're like you and I.
Absolutely. Yes.
But ultimately, at the end of the day, I'm not going to get to the end of my life and go, man, I'm really glad that I made all that property.
Yep.
Just that and the end of the truck I drive. What I am going to do is hopefully get to the end of my life and go, man, I've made a lot of change in a lot of people, whether that's through the podcast, the business. To me, at home, my family, not even including my extended family. When I talk about my family, it's me and my wife and my daughter right now.
Yeah.
And as I can create...
You got 2 cats in here, dude. We do not forget the 2 cats. That's right. All right. That's right. I'm right. That's good.
Don't shut to it. But also, at the end of the day, if I can make sure that I created just a little bit more impact through that, it's crazy. And then that's what generational wealth actually is.
Yes.
Because how many businesses do you see, and you've probably seen plenty in your time, where people are selling it off, they couldn't keep it running after the fact. And they're usually 2 or 3 generations in at that point.
Yes.
Because what's the old saying? First generation builds it, second generation maintains it, third generation destroys it.
Yes.
And ultimately, at the end of the day, that's not what generational wealth is. It's passing the intangible
kids.
It's making them hard workers like your dad. Trust me, my wife is the hardest worker I know, being in the horse.
Yes. Yep.
That was the best thing your dad ever could have done.
Yep.
I thought it was the coolest thing in the world.
Oh yeah.
I had to go muck stall.
Oh yeah. My dad gave me a pony at 6. It was the best thing, and there's so much freedom. To this day, my best friend, since kindergarten, Jamie, she'll tell you, like, the reason she fell in love with me or we became best friends is because I had horses. That was the only reason. And then we literally rode horses from age, 9, 10, back and forth to each other's house all summer long until we could drive. I mean, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. And the work ethic it gives you and the respect for a creature. Because, if you piss a pony off, a pony's going to put you on the ground and make you eat a little humble pie for being disrespectful. The iPad doesn't teach that. That pony does. So, but back to what you're talking about. You are correct. We come into this world needing relationships, and we leave this world having the best relationships. And that is what generational wealth is about. And, I consider myself a connector. That's really what I do. I am a relationship girl. It is about me putting the right people in the right room. And that is what I love. I love leadership from the corner is what I call it, where if you call me and say, Tiffany, this is my issue, I know how to connect you to the right people to help you solve your problem. Or if you come to me and say, hey, I really want to help somebody, okay, then I help connect you with that person that needs help. Because I do think that is, again, how you come back to impact, how you come back to relationships. We are a very money-driven world. We are a very, what do you look like? How pretty are you? What do you have? What are you driving? When in reality, what did you do to make something happen in somebody's life? And to know that, heaven forbid something does happen to me today, I'm okay with it because I know that I have left my county a better place. I have left my state in a better condition. And I hope that I have left this country with a little bit of change of Tiffany Meyer. And that's what it's about. But sadly, we don't embrace that. We don't really look at that. We look at the false things. And then I shouldn't say false things, but I think we look at the wrong things sometimes.
What's false, personally? I think that's
the success.
Yeah. It's once again back to the...
Yes.
Because I'm the same as you. I'm relational, not transactional.
Yes.
I could really give two shits about what you do for me.
Yes.
As far as what goes into my pocket.
Yes. Absolutely. Yes.
And if more people took that approach, it's amazing how much better it would be. I think, because what are we on now? The whole world, politics.
Yes.
Even also the freaking election, we're halfway through.
Yes.
A midterm right now. We're okay.
Yes.
Nobody.
Absolutely.
With that. But we will be at 6 months. We'll be here seeing the ads again, doing all that good crap.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't really matter. People would argue,
yep,
I care about who's in the White House. It's like, care about who's in.
That's correct. And I would say it is more important. Okay, so I'm a lobbyist junkie, FYI. I'm a politics girl, but I'm politics on both sides. I have great relationships on the Democratic side. I have great relationships on the Republican side. Our government was designed to run being conflict.
Is that checks and balances?
Correct. That it was designed and it has a purpose, which means we need to hear both sides, no different than you and I could sit here and argue about what is the best roofing material that we should be putting on a house today. I could make an argument, you can make an argument. The goal is, at the end of the argument, you and I coming to terms with what is the best plan for this house. That is no different than a Democratic and a Republican. And I think what's sad is the news media today blows it so much out of proportion, because I am here to tell you, I will sit down and have a conversation with Senator Husted, and I would sit down and have a conversation with Sherrod Brown, which isn't in office now, but he's an amazing human being, and so is John Husted. The point is, both of them bring so much to the table that it's not about this party world. You have to have both sides so that we can do what's best for the United States, for Ohio, for Ashland, for Richland County, for whatever we're talking about. I think what's sad is these people that are like, we're just not going to get into politics. In reality, you need to be involved. The mayor of Ashland wants to know what's important. The mayor of Mansfield wants to know, how can I make this better for the citizens? The county commissioners of Richland County care about how you do it. And I think the fact that we play this world of R&D, and it's just not it. I'm purple. I know I'm wearing blue today, but I am purple. I I'm a middle of the road girl, and I will run for the right person. I will work my tail off for the right person. I will make relationships for the right person. I won't make relationships because of a party line.
Well, and the biggest thing with that is most folks want to draw it down to, oh, I'm straight blue, I'm straight red.
Yep. Nope.
The argument really in my head should be, if you agree with every
That's right.
that person, if they check
That's right.
every box for you,
That's right.
something is not entirely right.
Yep.
They're gonna have something that skews.
Yep.
You know, and that's where it gets aggravating, and that's what the media does.
Yep.
Pin us against one another.
I was fortunate enough to be in a meeting with Portman and Brown when they were both senators for Ohio. And I don't even remember which one of them said it, but they literally were in a meeting together in front of 60 realtors. And they said, you know, we agree on 95% of policy. It's the 5% that we have to argue out. And sure, are there nuances that we want to shift? Yes. But the reality is it's the 5%. But the news media blows up the 5% instead of the 90% that we're because it sells. That is correct. And I think that is the sad and frustrating part. And you know, I used to say I want to be the U.S. Senator. I used to always want to run for Senate. And I'm telling you, I don't think I could ever handle the trash talk because, again, I'm the 80-20 rule, and I would tell somebody to go pound salt because I don't care. But the reality is we have to have the right people in the offices, and it is important. And you've got to have people that have good spirit, that have good morals, that have a good vibration, whatever you want to talk to it about, because those are the right people that are going to make the right decisions for us. When it comes to children's care, when it comes to animal cruelty, when it comes to gun rights, whatever your belief is. So yes, whatever matters to you, we have to have the right people. It's not R&D. It's not. So.
Well, and that's, you know, we've seen the last 2 years, shakeup. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. System.
Yes.
And everything has been built up, regardless of what side you're on. You've seen it happen both ways.
Yes.
And once you kind of realize that, somebody's trying to do something, you should want to get involved. And that's really what it comes down to. I want to go through, so how did you get into real estate? I think you kind of hinted around it, but I just want to dive into it.
So I am a third-generation real estate broker. So my grandfather and my father were both in the business. My dad actually started in the business first before my grandfather. So my dad started in 1974 and I'm a 1977 model. So I was raised in the industry. I actually worked my first open house at age 16. My dad had a relocation client come in town and he dropped me in a spooky haunted house. That's another story. And I worked my first open house at 16 and just kind of, you know, I was born, bred, and raised to sell real estate. And I love it. It's in my blood. I love, this is terrible, but I love the high conflict deals. I've learned that is my specialty. That's kind of my niche. So meaning a divorce that's high conflict, maybe a high conflict family estate. I just sold a farm I did a farm deal. It's been over a year now. It's so sad. The lady did absolutely no Medicaid. She did no estate planning. And she owed the state of Ohio Medicaid $1.2 million. It was a third-generation farm, and she lost it. So my job for the family of 5, that would have been the 4th generation to live on this farm, my job was to try to recover and save as much as I possibly could. Unfortunately, the family didn't get a whole lot, and we did sell the farm, and I settled. Obviously, I have an attorney involved, but my job was to try to negotiate and help with the Attorney General's office and then the buyer and get the farm sold and transition the family. So super high conflict, super emotional. I just did one. It's a sad story, but the lady passed away, had no family here in the United States. She was a foreign citizen, sold the property, and I needed to spread her ashes because there was nobody here to do it. And but again, the soul in me, I want to do what she wants. I want her wishes so honored. And if that's me, that's me. I'm okay. Again, that's not for everybody, but it was for me. So dealing with those high conflict, kind of difficult deals that nobody really talks about in real estate, in the ugly side of it, you know, I mean, sex offenders are another realm. Like there are people that have gone to jail. There are people that have made poor decisions in their life. And that doesn't mean that they're not on the right path or that they haven't shifted. but helping those people, again, impact, making sure that those people have the ability to have their home sold so that they can spend the money and use the money where they need to. Foreclosure is so sad for me. This market is still very strong. So if you're in foreclosure or you're in and they feel guilty or they feel bad about picking up the phone and asking for help, but that's what I'm here for. I'm not here to shame you. I'm not here to make you feel bad or judge you for the decisions you made. My goal is to help you exit and help you transition into that next chapter of your life. So, and I think that is where I've really found my niche. My dad was, don't judge anybody, never always take everybody for, the decisions that they've made and help them make better decisions. And that's my goal. And I don't think every real estate agent, no different than every roofer, than every doctor, is going to do that. And the goal is to find the one that really can handle those situations and help you through that difficult stuff. And don't get me wrong, there's a ton of great agents out there. I mean, some of my best friends in this industry are absolutely phenomenal. And, it's funny, I have an agent, and I love her to death, but she's the one I refer the customers to that, I know that are a bad vibe for me. And the customers have no idea. And I think she thinks that I'm just being nice, referring agents to her or clients to her. But the reality is, I hate them. I know that I'm going to it's not a good fit. But there are people out there that go the extra mile. And those are the ones you need to kind of hunt down and know that, again, they're making an impact. So you're right. I'm making an impact in my community because I want it to be a better place. And I do that through the Humane Society because that's my passion. Although I will say, so the Humane Society of Ashland County functions out of the Career Center, the Joint Vocational School in Ashland. They're on State Route 60. And I'm not a big kid person. I love kids. I don't really like to hold them. I like to hold them down and play with them, but I don't, I'm not a kid person. It's not my thing. But I will tell you, being involved with those juniors and seniors over the last 7 years of my life has been absolutely incredible. Helping those kids make decisions, helping them figure out how to sign lease agreements, helping them figure out what checking accounts are, helping them figure out how to manage money, things we don't talk about, is absolutely amazing. And I wouldn't trade any of that. But again, that is God putting me on that path that I didn't even know I needed to be on. Again, it's about opening doors. Mary Kalina, who runs a large property rental, she comes in and teaches, how do you sign lease agreements and what does that look like and what do we look for? Knowing the fact that I can pick up the phone and call her and say, this is what you should be doing. And, we started talking about estate planning, which sounds crazy that you talk about that kind of stuff to 18-year-olds. But in today's world of Medicaid losing generational farms, we have to have these conversations. And it's uncomfortable and it's not fun, but that's what my job is.
Well, and I just met with a customer on Friday. And turns out she kept saying, oh, they're going to take the house in 9 years, going to take the house. Or I'm not going to be here in 9 years, for her exact words. But
yeah, why? Right.
Well, I come to find out she actually had a reverse mortgage on the property, which for me, being someone that pretty knowledgeable in the real estate.
Yep.
So we're with a few clients that have had those. I just, you want to shake your head and just be like,
yep.
Because looking at 9 years, I'm assuming most of those are probably 15-year notes. They got a lot of upside.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's the whole point.
That's the point.
It's a business.
Yes.
I guess it's better somewhat than met.
Yes, that's correct. That is correct.
At least you got something out of it.
Yes.
But it's aggravating because now, she wanted to do the roof replacement, but as first cheap as possible. And I understand the whole hard.
Absolutely.
To get the client, I'd say, let's do it right.
Yes. Yep.
It makes for a screwed up.
It does. And those are the hard lines where I think that you and I have to go in, and people like you and I have to go in and problem solve and help guide them. And again, there was a reason she was designed to call you. God put you there for a reason. And your reason is to help her through this. And, reverse mortgages absolutely do have their purpose. Do I love, I say probably half of them are used in the wrong manner. People that just don't know how to plan and finance and it's sad. And that's probably the scenario here. There are times that they do work and they help transition people into assisted living and into that next phase of their life. But Yeah, reverse mortgages. We do a podcast on reverse mortgages.
Yeah. No, I literally called up everyone that I know who's, getting closer to retirement. And I said, if you do a reverse mortgage, I'll probably smack the crap.
Yep.
It's a good sales tactic.
Yes.
I've never seen the actual mortgage paper.
Yep.
Only freaking imagine.
Yes.
How much you're getting screwed over.
Yep. Yep.
Unfortunately. And that's just, I think the scenario for her was her husband had passed away, so she lost income.
Yeah.
I'm assuming most of Social Security because the rest of
Yeah.
cash out. And that was her way of making sure that she could be okay.
Yeah.
Without really seeing the full ramifications because she made an emotional decision. In that moment, because to me, I'd rather have seen her sell the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Affordable.
Yes.
Because to me, it's logically.
Yes. And there are some exit plans. So if she needs that, I'll be glad to have a conversation with her about exit plans because sometimes you can get them out of the reverse mortgages.
Basically financial. And there's a lot of folks out there who are like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Like we just worked for a couple 10 years ago, and that's the first time I ever.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, oh, so that's. I guess I see it,
but some customers, it just depends on what it is and what's owed in the reverse mortgage right now. Because sometimes you can sell. This market's strong enough, which I do think the market's going to take another shift in the positive for sellers here directly. We're kind of in this face-off where buyers don't want to pay and sellers don't want to sell. But I think it's going to shift. I think we're going to see interest rates drop down a smidge here directly. And then I think we're going to see some sellers pop. So there's some deals start to happen. Insurance is going to be a problem for us over the next couple of years. Getting homeowners insurance has almost doubled. And it's going to be super complicated. I had the first one where they refused to insure a home that was older than 1900, which affects a ton of homes in Ohio. So I had to jump through some hoops to get that done. And then the next one, I had a Victorian home, and they didn't want to cover the roof because, which happens more and more and more. So now we're jumping through those hoops. But insurance, I used to be able to get, on a $250,000 house, I used to be able to get you insurance for under $1,000. It is now $1,700, $1,900. Yep.
$2,000.
Yes.
$1,900 help with it held deductible.
Yes.
For most.
Yes.
For insurance, even though I'm not a licensed.
Yes.
Insurance board.
And I would tell you, make sure, again, no different than we're sitting here talking about real estate agents and roofers and make sure you have a good insurance agent. Like insurance is another one that I think we're going to see a big shift in the next couple of years, and you need somebody that can protect you and that can actually sit down and kind of talk about, and understand the insurance side. I just sold a mini horse farm, and again, we had, it was in Columbia Station. He called his local insurance agent. They didn't understand horse barns and indoor arenas and roofing and that kind, so you have to know the line that you're in. And so we ended up hooking him up with my farm insurance guy, and he took care of him, and and we saved him a ton of money. We got him better insurance, better coverage, and saved him money. I'm like, this is a win for me. So, and again, that's in all lines though. Mortgage is the same world. Like I could sit here and have a conversation with you that, you've got to know the right mortgage companies, because you may say, oh, I'm going to get a better rate. Well, sometimes it's not about the rate. Sometimes it's about what your closing costs are, because are they charging you points? Are they charging you hidden fees to get you that rate? Yeah. So again, it's all about education and making sure that you have yourself covered on those topics. But, I want to, you brought up a couple points in it, and it took me down a kind of a rabbit hole. We live in this world where we get to be lucky because we're kind of, we're good at what we do. So we're successful. How do you deal with the people that aren't successful in your business, or maybe not even in your business, but tell you how to run your business?
I call it.
They aren't in the arena with you, is I guess where I'm going with that.
I sign them.
Oh, I didn't know that you. Oh, I love the man in the arena. I say that quote often. Yes. What do you do with the people that aren't in the arena, that aren't dirty and bloody and marred by,
well, what's the second line of that quote? It's better to have tried than to have laid with a cold and
That is correct.
Real victory in order.
That is correct.
That's it. I relate it back to, in I guess modern term.
Yep.
It's the must be nicers. I hate I mean, and I don't hate a lot of people. I am low on must be nicer. Like, if you tell me it must be nice, like, if you can't see the rage bidding, oh my God. Yes. Yeah, no, the sleepless nights, the making $500 a month if I was lucky.
Yeah.
Wondering if I want to make payroll next week.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Wondering if we're going to have a business next year.
Yep.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Super nice.
Yep.
Now I'm just in a position 7 years later, displaced, and you're like, oh, yeah, it must be nice. Yeah, no, it is. And honestly, I wouldn't trade it for anything. But that's I guess what I would relate it back to is like, I probably flip it back and say like, oh man, yeah, I get what you're saying. Thank you. I'll leave it at that. It's like a turn the other cheek type scenario with most people.
Yes.
How I would deal with it. But then I kind of go back to the man in the arena, like, no, dude, like, you don't even get it. You don't even know, like, the feeling. Because, like, even my losses are my biggest wins. When I was, when I was 19 years old, I started a construction company. I walked away with that thing 3 years later with $300,000 unsecured debt. Like, can't catch a doubt. There's no assets attached to it.
Yep.
Stupidly, I didn't file for bankruptcy. Called my way back out of it in the next 5 years, and then here we stand. Most everything we have at this company in cash. Makes your balance sheet look.
Yes.
The most strategic thing to do, but you know what? Nobody could take it from me. Those lessons that I learned in the loss. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of mental turmoil that I wouldn't tell most people to even remotely goes.
Yes.
You know, the suicidal ideations.
Yes.
You could go through. You were talking about you kind of hinted on it. I give a talk sometimes about what I call the law of plus and minuses. Dr. John Maxwell talks about.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're taking them down. Giving those smiles out to me in those times maybe made all the difference in the world for me being here today, sitting with you and in a pine box 6 years ago. But when you relate all that back, you go, man, that was the coolest education I ever could have got. Granted, it does create some fear reactions.
Yes.
And when you see an account that where you want to be in money-wise, or you're not making the sales that you want, or whatever those are. But I can never work for somebody else, is what it comes down to. And I'm super thankful for all 20 W-2 employees that we have around here that they want to work for me. I'm so grateful for that, because if everyone wanted to be an entrepreneur, my life would be boring.
That's correct.
And that's just what it comes down to.
Yes.
It's not for everyone.
Yes.
You know, I get driven off the wall by people who are like, oh, I got my LLC today. I'm like, yeah, I can do that in 5 minutes. I'm not being an asshole. Like, I appreciate you for taking a step.
Correct.
But what are you doing?
Yep.
You know, what's your next action step?
Yep.
Have you burnt? The other thing is burn the ships.
Yep.
I don't know. It sounds like for most of your professional life, you worked inside of, you know, the family business to some extent. But I'm sure there was a time, well, with the horses, you had to burn the ships eventually and go, this is not sailing anymore.
Yep.
I'm selling off the trailer. I'm getting rid of this horse or whatever those were.
Yep.
And most people who never get past the starting line, they never burnt the ships.
Correct.
You always have a plan B. If you have a plan B, plan A is never going to work.
Yes.
Just plain simple.
Yep.
You know, and I consult with a lot of businesses now, and that's the first thing I ask them. What is our exit? You're not going to want to quit tomorrow, but if you tell me that, you're lying to yourself, and we're just going to end up spinning our wheels in the mud, or you're going to push yourself in a position where you're going to.
Yeah.
But when do we exit?
Yeah.
When do we exit our current position to make sure that we are good? I'm not telling you to slip off the boss and walk away, leave on good terms, do all that good stuff, but when do we exit and go all in on this? Because I was doing it half in, half out for a while. Second I went all in, holy shit, now it's working.
Yes.
5 years later, we're doing okay. You know what I mean? Sorry, that was really a roundabout way.
No. But I think that is intriguing. And I think a lot of people don't understand, again, because they see us in success and they don't necessarily see you in the struggles. You know, they don't see the below the iceberg. They don't see the stuff that we go through. And you're exactly right. The ships that you have to burn, the changing of the tribe. I mean, I'm sure you have shifted your tribe. You know, the friends that we had in high school, and not that I don't love them, and not that I don't love the friends I'd made in college, and not that I don't love the friends that I made later in life, but the reality is you have to shift your tribe. And it's uncomfortable, and I will tell you, it's probably the loneliest and saddest part of like those points in your life when you shift your tribe. And it is because of the reason. And the reason I asked is because I think a lot of people struggle with how do you deal with the armchair quarterbacks, the people that aren't in the arena with us. And, you know, from a humane society standpoint, they probably drive me more crazy in the humane society standpoint than they do the real estate, because not a lot of people buck me in real estate. Like I work really hard to keep good relationships, to do right by my customers, to do right by the people. And other real estate agents, I want, when I write an offer, I want the other real estate agents to be like, oh dude, I love working with Tiffany. Like, she's fantastic. She stays on top of it. Like, I want that conversation to be had. But in the animal world, I think it's crazy the stuff that people tell me. Like, you didn't pick up those puppies right on that Facebook Live that you did, and you could have harmed them. Are you flipping kidding me? That mama dog, we had to freaking snare because she was about to kill us, but you're going to bitch to me about how I picked up the puppies? Oh, I'm sorry, while you're eating bonbons sitting in your chair at home, not doing a damn thing for the Humane Society. Like, okay. So, but I will say, like, for me personally, and for those of you that are watching this, that I think the hardest part for people like you and I is that you have to handle them with sympathy. I'm sorry that you are in that realm and that's where you are, but I appreciate it. But now I'm going to dismiss you and move on. Yeah. And I think a lot of us that are kind-hearted struggle with the dismiss part. But the reality is I don't have time to deal with it. So therefore, I feel bad that you're in here. I will try to help you out of it. I will gladly coach you or educate you. But I'm not going to sit in the hole with you or come and sit in the chair next to you. I'm going to keep moving on.
If you want to have a conversation, by all means.
Absolutely. Yes.
I'm not going to waste my energy.
Yes.
Somebody that...
Yes. And I think the negativity that's in this world is really tough to deal with too. They're like to, because again, maybe it's an intimidation factor. Maybe it is just that they aren't as where they want to be. But instead of attacking, bring me solutions or bring me help or, and I think that's also the sad part. So you would rather gripe about the person that I'm pulling the animals out of and how horrible versus understanding that they've probably gone through a really shitty situation and you don't know what their life is. In most of these hoarder situations, there's mental health issues and it's sad. And the only way that you're going to make them better is to help them open that door and try to get them the right help. So sure, does it look sad that she had 52 cats living in her 1,200 square foot house? Yeah, it does look sad. And did we get them out of there? Yes. And did we make an impact? Yes. But what you're not seeing is when you're in the courtroom and she says, Tiffany, can Tiffany come sit with me at the table? Not my attorney, because she's one of the only people that have ever been nice to me in my life. The lady, she had mental health issues. You have to help those people. So we tear them down on social media because it's easy, but you don't get into the underlying issue that she needed help. And therefore, it's not just about me helping her with animals. And yes, I prosecuted her, but I prosecuted her so I could get her some mental health help because she wasn't old enough to be covered under anything else. And I think that is the sad part of today when we're dealing with these people that aren't in the arena with us because they don't understand the nuances of those things. So then they get offended by us when we're like, I hear you, but you also don't know the whole backstory.
Yeah.
And legally, I can't tell you the whole backstory because I'm in the middle of a case or, or things that happen with a real estate deal. Well, whose transaction did you take? That's really not that's the seller's job. That is their job to tell you, not my job. And we've been in such a competitive market. It's really been tough to not have those, when you piss off a buyer and honestly, for the last 4 years, nobody's happy in real estate. Like, I'm here to tell you, like, sellers, this is a great story. This just happened to me. I listed a property. We got 11 offers on it. And we were $17,000 over list price is what we put it in contract for. So I now have a seller that doesn't think I got him enough money, even though I'm over list price. I have a buyer that won the deal that thinks he overpaid. See? And then everybody else that didn't get the house bought is pissed off. So no matter what I do, everybody's pissed off at me. I am a lose-lose situation. My job is to just manage the losses and try to pack the wounds as they are out. It's just an interesting concept of,
Yeah, well, that's what I've told folks is like, it's such a weird time in real estate. In general.
Makes me crazy.
So I'll give you a list. My wife and I bought our house in 23, the end of 23. So market is pretty much red hot at that.
Yeah.
It's a true seller's.
Yeah.
I'm a very impatient man. She found out she was pregnant with our daughter a month or two before we bought our house. And basically we made a decision like, we're either buying in the next couple of months because we're not living with you 6 or 8 months pregnant, or we'll stay here. Those are 2 options. Looked at 3 houses. One was a flip, horribly done. walked in the door. I'm like, I work at a construction company.
Yep. Nope. Yep.
Another one was like on top of State Route 80 because or US 80. So like, I didn't have.
Nope.
I'm like, nope.
Nope.
And because we have 3 dogs, I'm like, yeah, last thing I need is for one of these morons to jump too fast.
Yep.
And then I don't remember. There was nothing memorable about the third one. It was just,
yeah.
She sends me a fourth. This is how impatient I am. She goes, hey, let's go look at this house. I'm like, I pulled the pictures and I'm like, no. Like, it looks like it's too much work to go on. Like, the way asking, just $10K outside of our budget. I'm good.
Yep.
She begs me. I do what all good husbands do and say yes. We go and look at this place. And we open the door and it turned out, are we in the right freaking house?
Yeah.
Because the pictures were so, nobody be happy in a transaction. No, these were taken on a freaking
absolutely
a dog shit picture.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Anything else in the market today?
Yep.
Great pictures.
Yep.
Horrible product, right?
Yep.
Like complete opposite.
Yes. Yep.
It helped us play in really well. We ended up getting it for $15,000 under appraisal with
okay, good. Closing costs.
No, the what we're paying in hand, the offer in hand, because a lot of times that's what it is. I think that pisses me off about the real estate world is the fact that you ask for my appraisal in order, or you ask for my paperwork in order to do the appraisal. Like, just give me straight up.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. No, not how it works.
Yeah. So we ended up with $10,000 in positive equity. We're setting like $40K in positive equity.
Good.
Based on purchase price. Sure, the sellers probably didn't care that much because we got to know them a little bit after.
Yeah.
Basically came back and rebutted because we were doing a conventional. Once again, we're going to a freaking conversation.
Yep.
We should offer conventional over
right.
FHA.
Correct.
Because they came back and said, hey, if you get up to this price, we'll sell it to you straight up.
Yeah.
Because you're waiting all contingency.
Yeah.
Which I have some home inspector friends who,
right.
my aunt for saying that, but
it's not for everybody, but yes. Yes.
Well, and then on top of that, the fact that this guy gave me a stack of papers this fall, service records for everything.
Absolutely.
Back to 1970.
Yes. Yes.
I was feeling pretty good about it.
Yes.
But that's the thing where you need a good agent.
Correct.
But not one that's going to oversell the house.
That's correct.
Because that's where you have to be careful because you'll turn so many prospective buyers off by listing the place for an astronomical amount of money and then not having it staged properly or them not pointing out, hey, your floor's sloping this way.
Yes.
You need to fix that or get real with your price.
Yes.
And that's where I think it's so important. And that's probably, let me ask you this. Is that frustrating for you in your world? Because you have a lot of, and I am friends with a lot of the good, I would call bigger agents.
Yeah. Yes.
But then what is the statistic? I'm sure you would know. Is it 98% of real estate agents sell less than one house a year?
Oh, no. It's more, it runs, honestly, it's in the 80-20. So about 20% of us sell 80% of the homes in the United States.
Yeah.
So it varies in percentage, but it's right in there. So there's 20% that are the top agents in the U.S., basically. Sometimes it's 17%, sometimes it's 23%, but yes, it fluctuates in there. And they're doing the gist. But yeah, I mean, I don't know the Ohio statistic. I used to, but I don't now. How many agents are in Ohio that actually do not even sell a home a year?
That's what. And
I think that is the frustrating part. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying agents that sell 2 or 3 homes a year aren't dedicated and don't love their consumers and aren't going to ride or die for them. But I do think it comes down to exposure. And somebody that's doing 40 transactions a year has a lot more exposure than somebody that's doing 2 or 3 transactions a year. And when you're negotiating these 1031s or these, which is a tax deferred exchange, or when you're negotiating a really ugly home inspection, or we need to replace a septic system, or I got a bad roof that's going to cost me $25,000 to replace. And those are all real live situations that happen every day. The one that's doing it, that's doing 1 or 2 transactions a year is not necessarily going to know, hey, how do we build this roof into the deal? Can the seller pay half of it? Can we escrow the money? Does it have to be done right away? And then you've got to have the relationships for when to pick up the phone and call you and be like, I got 30 days and I need this damn roof on in 30 days. And I don't care what you did. I need this done. And you're going to be like, okay, Tiffany, I'm going to do you a solid. So a lot of that is relationships and knowing, all right, what county am I in? What city am I in? What variances do I have to apply for? What applications do I need to take care of? What boxes do I have to check? Because every ordinance, every city operates different. Absolutely. So I think there's 617 municipalities in Ohio. Like, that's a lot of gamesmanship to know. So I think, yes, there is a difference. And it's funny you bring up the photo realm. I actually just lost a listing and it makes me so irritated. but it's fine. I lost the listing. They wanted to go to a different agent. They were referred. Their family member referred them to this agent. And literally I, who pay for a professional photographer, pay for a videographer, make sure we have aerial drone footage, make sure that they're flying the woods, do all of the top things for my clients because I want them to be put professionally forward. And I don't care if I'm listing a mobile home or I'm listing a $1.2 million house, I'm going to do the extra mile and make sure I'm hiring a professional photographer. And literally they took cell phone pictures and like the sellers in the photos.
Oh, yeah.
Like, what are you thinking?
Property department. Property recently.
Oh,
Because I seen one of them was like, that's the first thing I went to.
yeah.
There's like pictures of their dogs and stuff in these pictures. And I was thinking,
98% of homes are previewed online before they're previewed in person. So if you don't tell me photography is not key, you are sadly mistaken.
the world is.
Absolutely. MLS, multiple listing service, is another thing. Quite frankly, I think realtors don't talk about it enough. We all function in the multiple listing service, but we don't talk about it with our sellers because that is the key. The reason they want to use us is to have access to those things. Yes, does that equate to Zillow and Realtor.com? But the reality is it's exposure for them. I'm fortunate enough. I work for a huge company, Howard Hanna, and Howard Hanna has the availability that I can mass email all of our, I think there's 8,000 agents in Ohio and say, hey, I have this exclusive listing coming, or I have this listing coming. Can you please, you know what I mean?
Somebody that checks these.
Correct. My job is to get you the most exposure. So not only do I get access to those 8,000 agents, I'm going to put you in all the multiple listing services. I'm going to make sure we're top notch on Zillow, top notch on Realtor.com. So, and not every agent is going to do that. And I'm not going to tell you that there aren't agents out there because there are amazing agents in all of our counties and I love all of them. And I would gladly sit here and tell, and the three I think are the best of the best. And I talk to most of them. And I think that is also the beauty of this business. Those of us that are at the top talk to each other and we have each other's backs. I guarantee you if I called one of my friends right now and said, I need help, they would just talk this through with me. Like, I'm having a brain fart. I'm not seeing it clearly. I'm so frustrated with this client. Talk this through with me. And they'll talk it through with you. And I'm not talking legally. I'm not talking like, just sometimes you get a block, correct, peer-to-peer. You get in a block and you just need to talk through a transaction. And so going to that, when my dad passed away in 2002, I was traveling the country showing horses. I was selling real estate, but hadn't really like launched my career. And a very good friend, her name was Bonnie Boyd out of the Cleveland market, said, you need to get more involved with the Realtor Association. And that led to, crazily enough, I was the president of the Ohio Association of Realtors in 2018. What an amazing experience. And again, why God put you in places. I mean, did I think when she said you should come to the state convention that was going to lead to me being the president? But I'm here to tell you, when I didn't know who to call, it was my Ohio Realtor friends. When they needed to teach me how to grow my business and how to step up, it was them. I met Howard Hanna. I met the Hannas through the Ohio Realtor relationships, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. So, again, back to like opening doors, like that door was open for me and I walked through it. And sometimes I've closed doors. I've closed doors in my life, as I'm sure you have closed doors in your life. And, but I'm strategic about how I close doors. I don't like to, you really got to piss me off for me to close the door on you, but
yeah. And most of the time I try to do it in the most gingerly way possible.
Yeah.
I want to open it back up.
Absolutely.
To say that, I think we all have experience, especially as business owners, having to slam doors in bulk spaces.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Whether that's employees, past employees, I should say.
Yep.
And fulfilling partner relationships.
Yep.
Vendor partner relationships, whatever those are. It just happens that way.
It does.
And a lot of times we don't feel like it's anything.
No.
Most of the time it's not.
Mm-hmm. And you can't take it emotionally, I mean,
nothing emotional is.
Yeah. And I think another thing that's really tough in today's society is we're so reactive, right? We have like a, whatever they say, 7-second attention span, right? I mean, the longest statistic I saw is if somebody chooses Zillow and they call an agent, they expect a phone call in 7 minutes. Like, seriously, you understand I'm showing a house, but they expect you to call them back in 7 minutes because we have an attention span of a gnat. But the reality is, you have to go down those paths and you have to call those customers back and you have to be on target for all those people. But sometimes you can't, and you're going to burn bridges and you're going to burn relationships.
It's funny you say that too, because of the way the world is now as business owners, if you're not on those services, if you're not doing that, if you're not exposing yourself in the market, my wife and I bought our house literally through a Zillow. We thought about it.
Yep.
I have lots of realtor friends. It just so happened that day I just felt froggy enough to put in my information.
No.
I was going to get the listing agent. Didn't. That is what it is. Ended up with all later. It was like, you're an idiot. But, ended up meeting a Howard Hanna agent with the record team.
Perfect. Yep. Perfect.
Kyle's awesome.
Yep.
Jaron Smith is who we.
Yep. Good.
Jaron's a rock star. Now a great friend.
Absolutely.
Being in a B&I chapter with him as we were close.
Seriously.
Yeah. So awesome guy. And at the end of it, but that's a perspective base for business. Even those of us who are in the marketplace with great relationships and stuff, we still tend to, well, hell, look at nowadays order feed.
Yes.
They'll have their own little app. You don't want to go talk to the speaker.
Nope.
You know, we're so instant gratification. Amazon has done great wonders for us with that. Eating stuff in less than 2 days.
Yep.
You have to be positioned in the marketplace to a ton of that. We have a distant roof estimator. I will get you a roof estimate. Excuse me, 30 seconds.
Yep.
Is it going to be exact? Nope. You'll have an idea.
You give you a rough idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the same as, you know, when I get on Zillow and try to sell my house and I can use the sliders to see how much I'm going to pay closing costs and realtor fees, all that kind of stuff.
It is definitely an instant gratification world, which I think is tough in some respects. I mean, obviously we talked a little bit about, like, I live in the high conflict world, right? So that means divorce is my jam, right? Like, I make money on divorces, and it's really sad that I say that. But I think we live in this throwaway society where people just want to throw away marriages. They want to throw away commitments. And I think they have a tendency to listen to people that are toxic in general. And they go down these rabbit holes that really aren't in your best interest. And don't get me wrong, there's a reason for divorce. There's always, do you know what I mean? But in today's society, it makes me sad in my heart to watch families get torn apart because we can't check ourselves and grow and become a better human. Because, you know, maybe the one partner has outgrown the other partner. And I think that is, it's just really frustrating. And I know that we do have a tendency to outgrow people in our lives because they don't want to grow, or they don't want to fix habits that they have created, or they don't want to dig themselves out of the hole. And I'm not saying that you should ever go in the hole after them. You know, I'm a big, I'll put the ladder down and I will cheerlead you out, but I am not going to go in the hole after you. And I think that is really sad today, though, that we have a tendency to just throw people out and throw the marriage out, or throw the divorce out, or throw the, you know what I mean? And the kids are in such high conflict. It's so sad to me that you're pinning your children in the middle of adult problems. And I see it every day. I see it every day in my business. And as much as you want to try to check it or try to help it, I don't really, I can't, you know, I tell customers all the time, like, this is a business transaction, selling this house, and I have to do what's best for you and your children so that I can put each of you in your respective homes, and hopefully you will figure out how to heal from this. But, you know, they want it to be emotional. They want it to be attacky. They want you to justify either side of them. And that's not my job. My job is to stay in the middle and to do what's best for the overall best picture. And 9 times out of 10, I feel like I'm working for the kids, because in my mind, it's what's in the best interest of the kids. How do I make sure that everybody's taken care of? And there's not always kids involved, but, you know, hell, I negotiated a dog in a divorce. So 50-50 custody of a dog. I've done that numerous times. Like, it's crazy what we do as real estate agents. Like, I'm not an attorney. It's not my job, but a lot of times I just become the mediator, and I'm softer, and I don't cost you $250 or $500 an hour. I just cost you when I sell your house.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, I'm a psychiatrist more than you would be amazed at how many folks will just spill their entire life story to me. And I don't care.
Yes.
I take the burden.
Yes.
Just the same. But, you know, when you talk about the throwaway society, like, that's, to me, I run it back to, like, people, I public speak a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of public speaking engagements.
Mm-hmm.
And people go like, how'd you get good at it? And it's like, it's a muscle.
Yes.
You have to work.
You have to practice it.
Yes. Marriage is no different. A relationship is so different.
Yes.
A friendship is no different.
Yes.
You have to, I can't just wish that I'm skinny. I have to go put the work in.
Correct. Yep.
Follow the diet. I have to,
Yes.
inside your marriage or any kind of relationship at all,
Yes.
to put the work.
Absolutely.
I've seen, and you probably have seen this a lot, especially with the world that you do, with folks who get their kids graduated and they get divorced.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because they've lost their identity.
Yes. Correct. Yes, it is. Absolutely.
They forgot who the hell,
Yeah.
I tell young couples all the time, I'm like, and Grant, I have a 14-month-old. It's not like I've got this figured out. I just have watched other people.
Yes.
That's what you don't do.
Yeah. They quit becoming each other's teammates. They find friendship in their work friends, or they find friendship in, their party friends, or they stop dating. You're correct. And they rely on building these relationships with other people versus building the relationship with each other. And as I'm sitting here, as I'm single and I'm telling you, like, I'm giving marriage advice and I'm single, but it's just, it makes me sad. I mean, it saddens my heart that we have a society of egos, and so many times these divorces are happening because of ego, because they don't want to be wrong, or they don't want to look within themselves to see how that we grow and make ourselves a better human. And quite frankly, we've been taught by social media and commercials that you can take a pill and it'll get better. But you're right. If they don't want to work at it, it's not going to get better. I'm here to tell you, it will always revert until you start to deal with stuff. And I'm going to go back to the tribe factor, right? Like, that is why you outgrow friends at times. And it sucks and it's uncomfortable that you have to outgrow people, because you start to reach a level that they just don't want to go there. They don't want to put the work or the effort in, but it's exhausting for you to stay in that situation, because you don't want to talk about what Becky did last Friday or who Becky was with last Friday. You want to talk about, how do I make my town better, or my community better, or how do I go save more animals, or how do I put together a really cool community event, because that is the realm that I'm in. I don't give two shits what Becky did. Like, Becky can do Becky. Like, I honest to God don't care.
Yep.
And I think that is the hard factor of aligning people together is, they forget to date. They forget to have conversations about growth. They forget to have conversations about where they want to be and what their long-term goals are. And it's sad. And I just think that if there was anything I could say today that I wish I could help some way, that would be it. That be caveated or be acknowledgeable of those that surround you, because you will become what is around you. So
you're a product of the most people.
Yes.
You're a product of the 5 people you spend the most time.
That is correct. Yep.
That's where I think also too, like, we also oftentimes get caught in picking a significant other based on things that are
the team. Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I tell people all the time, put me in a cardboard box with my wife tomorrow.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
I'll
figure it out. Yep. Absolutely. Me too. Yep. I'll figure it out. I'm a survivor.
Yeah. I'm going to be better than it was to begin with.
Yes.
My belief on life. But if you're not happy in a cardboard box with them, it's like, I see sometimes folks will have kids because they think that's going to solve their problem. It's like, that's not going to solve it.
No. Or they buy another house, or they buy something new, buy a new car. Yeah, again, it's throwing money at something that versus actually looking within and trying to work something out. You're correct. And that's not the problem. It's not the solve. Do you know what I mean? And it's funny. I literally saw a TikTok the other day about you should always go on like the worst vacation with your significant other before you marry them, because it shows you their true personality. Like, I am the best person to travel with because I find adventure in whatever we have. Like, whatever happens, dude, happens. Like, those are the best vacations for me. But, not everybody's wired that way. And they get all upset and all emotional and get all mad versus just whatever, dude. Like, so I got stuck in Chicago flying home. So I guess I'm going to go make some friends in Chicago. Like, you just have to roll with life. That is, again, God puts you in places for a reason. Learn the lesson, take it as a blessing, and move on and check that. Like, you did it. It was a great experience. It is what it is. Did I want to stay in a hotel in Chicago? No, but I did. Don't care. And it was a sleazy hotel, but whatever.
Life goes on, right?
Right. I've slept in horse stalls before. It was better than that.
Maybe not safer, but
Yeah. Agreed. Sleeping with a horse was probably much safer. Sick. Oh, it's so.
that's a good piece of advice, actually. I was just thinking about my wife and I went on a couple trip to Punta Cana, and we lost heat or AC in the middle of June. Like this romantic vacation, we're like laying in this.
Do not touch me.
Think about touching me.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
We're like, we had to swim up pool to our room. We're like, well, we just go sleep in that thing. Like,
Yeah.
you're trying to.
Yep.
We still had a great time together,
Correct.
and like,
And you laugh about it.
yes,
And you tell stories about it. Absolutely.
yes.
Those are the best experience. Like the off-puts that God, spirit, whatever puts you in, I think sometimes are just the best way. And it was your lesson to learn that she's a great partner in life. Because if the zombies ever do attack, she'll be a great partner when it happens. And that's what it's about. And I laugh about it, but I say it all the time. Like, when the zombies attack, who do you want next to you?
Yeah.
When this world falls apart, who do you want next to you? And if they're not going to fight and defend you, now I might be the reason you get shot, but I'll take the bullet for you. You're correct, and we're going to have a dang good time doing it. Like, I mean, I think that's what you got to find. You got to find that kind of combat ready, that person that's on your level. And if you're a safety person, then you got to find that person that creates that safety for you. So, but have that conversation, have those communications. And that's where I don't think we talk enough. Yep.
We too often get caught in our own.
Yes.
It's not so much even talking; it's
Yes.
2 ears, one mouth for a reason. And too often in life, we want to just say what we want to say instead of actually listening to what's being said.
Mm-hmm. You listen to respond. You don't listen to actually understand the emotional connection.
And men are terrible.
Yes, you are.
No, I'll say,
Yes, you are.
my wife's like, I'll give a response. She's like, I just want you to listen.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't need you to fix my problems. I'm quite capable of fixing my own problems. I just needed to vent about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just need
Yes.
5 minutes to
Yes.
say what I have.
Yes.
Well, this has been a great conversation, Tiffany. I'd like to open the last couple minutes of a podcast. Just if there's nothing we discussed that you wanted to bring up, because we talked about a lot.
We covered a ton of ground.
But is there anything that is on your heart that you just want to share?
No, I don't think so. I think we covered everything that we needed to.
You've been a great guest.
Thank you.
So, well, if you made it this far, there's a lot. Cool. You could share this with a ton of people. Somebody that's struggling in relationships. Honestly, if I had to coin the podcast, this episode would be relationships, whether that's personal, professional, whatever those are in your life. How do they affect you? How do they make you grow? I know I always ask that you share this with somebody that you think can just use something from our message today, and hopefully you got something from it. And if you didn't, go back and listen again, because there's so much to unpack in here, whether that's building relationships, getting mad at people. No, I'm just kidding. Building relationships, being able to fire people from your life, or more so than that, just taking a leap of faith, or listening to the haters and letting them fuel your fire. Because even though we didn't directly say that, that's when we were talking.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So ultimately, at the end of the day, y'all, thank you for listening, and keep asking yourself, what's your why?